Political analyst Brian Sobel, the president-elect, at odds with the nation's intelligence communities, has this interesting relationship with the press. Mexico has threatened retaliation if he imposes a border tax, and then the 44% right there, as we saw. What does this suggest to you of having such a low approval rating there going into inauguration?
Well, you would never want to go in with a 44% approval rating, but by the same token, people are going to have to take time to see how this administration rolls out. And if you start at the beginning saying, hey, this is going to be a disaster, to use a Donald Trump word, you know, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think the whole cleansing of the American process includes giving the next president a chance to prove themselves.
How does this low approval rating, or does it affect his inaugural address on Friday?
I don't think it impacts that. I think the inaugural address will be setting the scene, Garcia, for the future.
What's the tone of what you expect?
I think it'll be somewhat lofty. I think he'll take bits and pieces of other inaugurals in terms of setting the scene for America and what he thinks America can look like.
Do you think he'll write his own speech, or is it because Mr. Trump is not a conventional person? Sometimes other presidents have had people write their speeches for them. But will Donald Trump be conventional, or will he actually write a speech, or will he wing it?
He won't wing it.
Okay.
I think it's too important for history to have the words right. And so I think he'll receive input. I actually knew one of the presidential speechwriters and interviewed him years ago, and that's a pretty tightly controlled thing. And even though Donald Trump goes off script a lot, I think he'll pretty much stick to the script in the inaugural.
There are lawmakers who are ditching the inauguration, deciding not to attend. Brian, is it a lawmaker's duty to be at this ceremony and witness the peaceful transition of power?
Well, I think a lawmaker needs to follow their conscience, but they also have to remember that they're representing their constituents on all sides of the aisle as a witness to the change of power, a peaceful change. And so they're witnesses, and whether they personally feel good or bad about the candidate, they are representing the democracy in America. So I might take issue, an understanding, of course, that everybody has to follow their conscience.
Right. We talked about this relationship with the media, the news conference.
Yes.
Something that keeps bugging me. It's been on my mind, so let me just play a little clip.
Sure.
No, not you. Not you.
Can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization.
Your organization.
Can you give us a chance
Let's
to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state categorically?
What do you think of this? And do you have any concern going forward with the freedom of press here?
Well, every administration...
This is a First Amendment issue.
Yeah. To put it in context, every administration has problems with the media and certain members of the media. How vociferous somebody is, and in the case of Donald Trump, about a certain organization is of concern. I think eventually he's going to have to change his tenor with the media, but make no mistake about it, there are historical precedents for all these things. And, I mean, Richard Nixon had his list of media enemies. Frankly, the Obama administration had their list of people they didn't care for.
But to me, when you see that, that's censorship, because you're censoring someone from asking a question, right?
Well, what's the difference? In the sense that a president always has a select list of people they're going to talk to that day. And if you're not on that list, they're not calling on you anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, to be honest, a lot of that is show. And, I mean, for years, I mean, the American public doesn't understand that when there's a presidential media conference, they've already pre-selected the 6 people who will answer the questions.
Yeah, and other presidents have done that.
Absolutely.
He was just being a little more abrasive.
Yeah, abrasive is a great word, and he's got to take that down. Same with that Twitter account. Somebody's got to hide that, hide the smartphone in the closet or something.
Okay. Brian Sobel.
Brian, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have been